Good morning, fellow YouTubers and gas engine nuts. We're here today to start my 20 horsepower Fairbanks Morse engine. Kind of go over a few things with you in case you're not familiar with it. First thing we'll start with is the lubrication system. That's basically accomplished by these drip oilers. You see there's three of them. The one on the right and the left are both for the rear main bearings of this engine, and the one that's up on the top is for the big end of the rod. The oiler in the front would oil the piston skirts, and also it drips right on through a hole in the piston to lubricate the conrod end, the small end of the rod. This is a magneto. It's a Wyco type R. This was not what originally came on this engine, but I believe it is probably a better magneto. It has more of adjustment range as far as timing goes and what have you. Also, we have some grease cups here. This one would be for the camshaft, or the timing gear that has the camshaft on it. This one's for the shaft of the governor. And moving on down the line here, we've got the gas regulator. I've got this running on propane at the time. The regulation of the fuel is accomplished by this gas valve right here, and the demand regulator simply doesn't allow gas to run into the engine unless there's a vacuum present. Kind of a safety feature. This is the original carburetor, and this engine would run on quite a few different types of fuel. Could run on gasoline, could run on natural gas. Of course, I've got it on propane. Could run on well gas. It also, if it was warm enough, could run on kerosene quite easily. It's missing a few components. It had a fuel pump that used to sit right there and was actuated off the push rod for the engine. I don't have that. Someday I'd like to get those parts and complete it. One of the more unique features of this engine is the cooling system that's on it. This cooling system, if you're not from down around southern Illinois in the oil fields, you've probably never seen anything quite like this before. It works off the vacuum of the intake of the engine. And the way it accomplishes that, you can see that it's piped into the intake. This is the intake, air intake for the engine. When the engine is running up to speed and stabilized and everything, I will adjust this, and the vacuum from the engine draws on the cooling system. There's a series of check valves involved in this. One here, one here. That line goes back to the cooling tank. And there is one right here, which is the line that comes from the bottom of the cooling tank. The coolant circulates here into the jacket of the engine. It's drawn up by the vacuum up above, up to this sight glass. When the vacuum drops off, the water can't go back down into the cylinder, and it can't go back to the tank, so it has to run this way and go in the top of the tank. It's also got this little valve which goes up to the top. This is the vacuum breaker. All these have to be adjusted to accommodate the amount of vacuum that you have so that it doesn't draw too much water and hydraulically lock the engine, which is not a good thing. I've also got a little pony motor here to start the thing with. If it gets temperamental, it's usually real easy to start, and we'll try it today by hand and see if it doesn't take right off. I'll put the camera up here and get a couple things ready, and we'll see what we can do about getting this thing running. as you can hear, it's running. We'll give it a little time here to get warmed up, get up to speed, and stabilize itself. And then I'll see if I can get the cooling system started on it. Throttling it up a little bit. The valve at the end of this red line has got the round handle on it. That's the air supply, main air supply for the engine. A little bit of playing around and I'll get this where I want it. You can see now we're getting some water through the cooling system. This old engine ran a vacuum pump on an oil lease in Kentucky from 1931 till 1970. The engine was built in 1930. This is the largest engine in the ZC series line that Fairbanks Morse made. Not a whole lot of them around it now. Well, folks, that's about it for today. I'm going to let her run for probably another 3 or 4 hours and shut her off again for a while. Thanks for looking at her. Talk to you later. Bye.